Welcome everyone to tonight's live. Thank you for joining us. I'm very excited to have you here and really, I just love going live on TikTok actually. I'm really enjoying it. Considering that a year ago I didn't even know how TikTok worked or what happened, and I've had a few accounts that have closed down. But you know what? At the end of the day, you do what you got to do, right? So tonight I want to really talk to you about, the fact that most people go into retirement, they go into retirement broke. But you guys still have time if you act now. Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's live. Thank you very much for joining me, Cody. So if you're over 50 and really thinking about retirement, I really want you guys to stick around because I really got something that I'm very passionate about sharing with people. And this information is definitely for you guys. So in fact, if you're over 50, hi Tommy, hi Harry. If you're over 50, drop a 1 in the comments for me. I'd love that. And also let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know where you are in the world. And, it's always interesting to see where people come from. Hi Kiki. So just let me know. But God, how fast has this year gone, right? It's crazy. I saw something today and it reminded me we're a quarter of the way through the year already. A quarter of the way through the year. Hi Potato Lover, hi Avi. So let me know, just out of interest, what have you done in the first quarter of the year? And what is it that you plan to achieve in the first quarter of the year, and have you done it? More to the point, because like I said, the quarter of the year has gone. And hi Indy, hi Anastasia, welcome. So where has the year gone? Where has the first 3 months of the year gone? They've flown past. So when we look at that, well, for me personally, when I look at the beginning of the year, and I usually start in about end of November, I plan my goals for the first quarter of the year. And it's usually a continuation of the goals that I set for the last quarter of the year. Hi, hi everyone, welcome. It's moving through really fast. I missed all the names. So, hi Zane, hi Kay. Alyssa, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Hi Luca. Let me know where you're joining from. I would love to know. Baby Japanese, hello, welcome. Thanks for being here again. It's good to have you back. So, what are your dreams and what is your retirement dream? Because I've got some facts and figures tonight that I'm going to share with you. Hey people, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Switha and WinCup, thank you very much for being here. So I've got a question. How many of you have thought at any point, will I have enough to retire? If you've had that thought ever, drop a 1 in the comments. And just let me know, because I'm really interested, I'm really keen to know, if you've thought about retirement seriously enough to think, will I have enough for retirement? Hi, Galen. Hi. I can't read that. Hi, welcome, everyone. Hi, Rihanna. Thanks for joining us. So, if you had a chance to retire stress-free, would you do it? Would you do it? And would you do it earlier rather than later? Comment yes. Drop a yes in the comments. Hi, Amelia. Emily, maybe. Hello, welcome. Because I think if I had the opportunity to retire at 30, I would have definitely done it. If I had an opportunity to retire at 40, I definitely would have done it. If I had an opportunity to retire at 50, I definitely would have done it, right? So that's why I'm asking this question. So, however old you are, if you had an opportunity to retire tomorrow, would you do it? Welcome, Cash. Thanks for being here. Hi, Vent. So, there are things that I'm really interested to know because, anybody 50 and over is definitely the people that I'm talking to and who I want to be talking to. So, hi, Fatuma, welcome. And Morel, welcome. Hello. So, what's your biggest financial concern about retirement? What is it? Hi, Cool Cucumber. How are you? Welcome. Thanks for being here. What is your biggest financial concern about retirement? Let me know in the comments. Hi, Seth. Welcome. Because, I do get it, right? It was only a year ago that... Welcome, Madeline. Thank you for joining us. And Gills. A year ago, I was laying awake at night, stressed and wondering how I was ever going to survive my retirement because I definitely did not have enough. And I have always looked at online income streams, and one of my income streams had dropped by 3/4 within a matter of a couple of months. Hello, Mrs. Naomi, welcome, and Alicia, welcome. Amelia, hello. So, when you lose 3/4 of one of your income streams, then it becomes a bit of a concern because that particular one, hi Azuma, welcome. Hi Yasna, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Eli, welcome. So, when I lost 3/4 of an income stream, that was literally the money that used to pay my rent. So not only did I have to then find the shortfall of what I was missing, I also had to, why won't that go? Well, you can leave, thanks Azuma, because I don't care for comments like that either. So off you go. I'm not worried about you. So, it's like you lose that income. Where do you go? You've got to find something to replace it. So not only did I have to find what I'd lost every month, I also had to find the shortfall because it wasn't quite enough to pay my 4 weeks rent every time. Thanks for liking my live, Yasna. Hi, Questy, welcome. Hello, Fletcher Lord. Got to look at where and how you're going to make up that shortfall. And I had no idea where I was going to find that at that point. And I knew that I could, manage for a couple of months, but after that, I knew it was going to start getting super tight. So the truth is, most people reach retirement age and they just only barely have a fraction of what they actually need. So let's talk about why. I'll tell you why. Hi, Brad. Welcome back. Another Aussie. Thanks for being here. So the average retirement savings is way lower than what you actually need to retire in Australia. And, if you think about how much you need, what do you think if you are retired at 60 and you had 30 years of life left, how much do you reckon you'd need to last that, to live better than just comfortable, right? So how much do you reckon that would be? How much do you reckon you'd need? Because and what's your plan to make that happen? If your savings run out faster than expected, you have unexpected costs that come up, what then? So a lot of people I know that I've talked to in Australia underestimate how much they're going to need. And that's the reality. A comfortable retirement, statistics show that it's supposed to be like, 500,000 to $1 million for 30 years. That's got to last you 30 years, right? But most people have a lot less than that. And then you've got inflation, you've got rising costs in other areas, unexpected expenses. Like, what happens if your partner suddenly gets sick and you've got to put them in a nursing home for the rest of their life? How are you going to pay for that? Not only will that drain any savings you got very, very quickly, you're then stuck. What do you do then? So, for example, in Australia, a single person needs $595,000 in their superannuation fund to retire for 25 years. So that's the equivalent of $23,800 a year, right? Now, my example, my rent is $32,900 a year. That's 52 weeks of rent. That's at the current rate. That's without any increases. And it's a little bit more than that. I just rounded it off. So already I have a shortfall of $10,000 a year. So how do you fix that? Well, your superannuation does get interest along the way, and it takes a percentage in admin fees, and that percentage can be anywhere between about $1,500 and about $5,000 a year out of your money. And because most of them are really quite high. So to keep it simple, let's say that your superannuation fund, no interest, no fees, you're still behind the 8 ball, right? So you can see where my dilemma comes from. So if you were to double that 595,000, you've got 1.19 million, right? That's 47,000 per year. So out of that 47,000 a year, then you have something like 14,000 left, just over 14,500 left. So then you out of that 14,000 for the year, you've got food, power, petrol, insurance. So really, in an ideal world, you need 3 times that 595,000 to live 30 years in retirement. Hi, Zachary, welcome. So that's about, 1.1785 million a year, which means you're on about 71,500 a year. That's what you need to live just over comfortable. Go figure. And the government says you can live on 23,500 a year. They're obviously not paying rent, and they're obviously not, paying power and all those sorts of things, food, electricity, gas, petrol, like average Joe Bloggs, right? And we're about to have an election here in Australia. So it's interesting that when you look at all the stats, this is something that is really quite mind-boggling for me. So what is the shift or the realization? When you really know what it's going to cost you in retirement, there has to be another way, right? So the good news is that it's not too late for you guys to start to look for something where you can live on more than just a pension, or more than just your superannuation. And I have been fortunate enough that when I lost 3/4 of my other income stream, I just went, I need to find something that's going to work for me. I need something that is going to get me through this, to help me pay for those extras. And I did. I found a way to make real income without working until I'm 70 and without, having to put in 15 hours a day. Hi, Sassy. Hello. Welcome. So, I was lucky enough to be able to find something, and it's working for so many people. We have a lovely community that really works on genuine connection, and they're all supporting each other. So let me ask you this. Have you ever considered earning residual income online? If you have, drop a 1 in the comments. I'd love to know. And hey, Dexter, welcome. And if you have ever considered, building income online, then let me know. And let me know if you think that an extra $5,000 or $10,000 a month would change your family's life. How would it impact your family's life? How would that make a difference in your life? I'm pretty sure that it could make a big difference somewhere in your life. And how would your life change if money was no longer a constant worry? Because when you have these things constantly worrying you, then you also have other things that come into it. So you start to stress, you start to get overwhelmed, you start to get anxious. Anxiety in the physical form is depression, and that becomes a mental health issue. And then you've got more ongoing costs with that. So if, how would your life change if money was no longer a problem? Let me know in the comments. Welcome, Declan, welcome. So, now you can see why oh, thank you, Declan, appreciate that. So now you can see why a year ago, when I had no superannuation left and no savings left, why I was overwhelmed and exhausted and had no idea how I'd retire without going back to work. And I can tell you that at 67 years old, I was not going to be looking forward to going back and exchanging my time for money, And that's when I opened up my mind. And hi, Tammy, welcome. So that's when I opened up my mind and said, you know what is out there that I can do without exchanging time for money? And the thing that suddenly appeared in front of me was this blueprint, and it changed everything for me. And I really would love to share that with you guys. Welcome, Jack. Thanks for joining me. So this blueprint has now expanded into the Legacy Building Program 2.0. So what does that mean? Well, that means that it is now licensed and certified with the online income. And welcome, Lucas. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for being here. And Digby. So, what does it mean? Well, it means that you don't have to go chasing people to try and sell something to. And it means that you don't need to have, these in-depth tech skills to be able to get through, because it's a proven step-by-step system that gives you everything that you need. And it's a video. You watch a video and you say, okay, I can do that. And then you do it. And then you watch the next video and you say, okay, I can do that. So you do it. Hey, Peter, welcome. So, you don't need the tech skills. You don't need to chase people because it's rejection free. You've got an automated system that works for you 24/7. And what happens with that is, if somebody puts their information into your page, then the email automation steps in and you don't even have to follow them up. It's all done for you, which is pretty cool, because in the old form of network marketing and multi-level marketing businesses, you've had to do all the follow-up. You've had to chase friends and family. How many times have you been told, ring your top 10 people on your, on your phone list and get them to join you? And there's none of that in this. You don't have any of that. Hi, Mickey, welcome. So, it's really exciting that this is a completely different way of doing things. So imagine if you were waking up knowing that you never, ever have to worry about money again in your life, ever. Hi, Bella, welcome. Hi, Kalina. So that's exactly what the blueprint is. It gives you peace of mind. It gives you the ability to be able to go into your day. And then what you do is, you work 2 hours a day with your income producing activities, and you've got 22 hours a day to do what you want. Do more of what you want. So, hi, cameraman. Hi, Baksu. Hi, Liv. Welcome. Hello, the best mum. I love that. That's great. So it's what you want. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. So how would that feel to wake up and not ever have to worry about paying the next bill because the money's there? You can do that. You do have to put in 2 hours a day. You do have to do a little bit of work. You have to create your content. You have to have an open mind so that you're coachable in the sense of, learning how the system works, learning the marketing, learning the attraction marketing, and learning how 103 other people made 6 figures and 3 made 500,000 or more in the last 12 months. So thanks, Mousty. So that's what it's about. So, if you could start today and see results in 6 months, would you do it? Just comment yes below if that's something you'd be interested in. Because you don't have to go into retirement in fear of whether you're going to have enough or not. Hi, Aria. Thanks for joining us. What is stopping you from taking action right now? Is it fear? Is it uncertainty? Is it the unknown? Is it not enough money to start? We have a program to suit all budgets, starting at $100. So this is very possible for people to step into this and make 100% profit. And when you do that, you can then upgrade to the $300 program if that's what you want to do. And then you can sell the $300 and the $100 program. So, that's how it works. And there's a 600 and there's a 900. Now, I went in straight into the 900 because for me, thanks, Ben. So for me, it was the better value for me. Now, I had to do a lot to get that $900 together at that point. That was a year ago. Because I'd lost 3/4 of my income in another venture. And so it was, times were tough. I had to find that money. It took me 3 months, but I got the money together. But I still, hi Layla, welcome. So I still believed in my heart that 900 was the best value for me, but it might not be for you. So you can choose where you want to start. So, I only wish that I had started and not waited that 3 months. I wish I could have done it straight away. So don't wait like I did. It's about those who take action are the ones that succeed. Hey, welcome. Thanks for being here. So this is your chance to take control of your life and your retirement. Because, like I said, you're not going to get enough in Australia on the pension to survive. And you want to be doing something before it's too late. So who's ready to build a retirement that's stress-free and secure? Drop a yes in the comments. Let me know. No, I don't personally do drop shipping, Ben. If that's something that, like, everybody has different ways of earning income. I have a number of income streams, but that's not one of them. That's not something that aligns with where I'm at right now. So it's not something I've taken on. I do know a bit about it. I've heard different things. I've seen different things. I've done research. But for me, it's not for me. And that's okay, because everybody is entitled to do what works for them. So, if you are serious about learning how this works, drop retirement in the comments. Drop retirement in the comments for me and let me know, because I would love to share this with you and give you an opportunity to take a look around. There is no pressure, for you to do anything. All it is you put your email address in. Hi, Layla. Put your email address in and Layla. You put your email address in, you'll get some emails that'll tell you all about it. And then, it's simple. If you've got questions, you can reply to that email and let me know. Hi, Tia, welcome. And I'll answer those questions for you, because you'll always be supported by me, always, in this. It's never going to change. So, it's something that you can choose. And like I said, there's a number of different options. There's 4 streams of income that come with this under the Legacy Builder program, depending on which program you take as to how many streams you will get with that. So that's entirely up to you. So this blueprint is ready and waiting for you. And, I've done it. I've got many others in the community that have done it. And there's been successful. No, it's not a course. It's digital marketing. So you get 4 digital products that you purchase, and you have the resale rights on that, and you get 100% commission on everything. So that's how that works, Ben. You don't need to create these products. They're already there. You do learn new skills when you're in this if you choose to do the training, and the training is really about helping you to get the best information out there so that you're attracting the right customers. So that's entirely up to you. And like I said, if that's something that interests you, then drop blueprint in the comments, and I'll definitely come and, hey, Addie, welcome. And, I'll definitely send you my page, or I've got a website in my profile, so in my bio. So just go above and you can, more or less. So, yes, you have the market, you master the resale rights for that. You've got permission to resell that over and over as many times as you like. It is somebody created these products, Michelle O'Neill. She created these products. She's the founder of the digital marketing, digital growth community, and she built the products. And you get the resale rights on that. So yes, that's exactly what happens. So then you just sell it over and over, and everybody you sell to have the right to sell it over and over as well. So yeah, that's exactly right, Ben. So, you know, if it's something that interests you, you can go to that link, copy and paste that whole link, and put your email address in. Like I said, you'll get an email from me, and then if you've got any more questions, I'm more than happy to answer those questions for you so that we can, you know, get you organized to have a conversation if you need to have a conversation. And, you know, then, like I said, nobody is ever left on their own. I am here to support them 100%. So I want to make sure that, you know, anybody that comes into this is doing everything they can and learning as much as they can, and has, you know, has an easy pathway through to be able to start doing this, you know, fairly easily. So, hi Shakia. So yeah, if that's something that interests you, drop retirement in the comments, and I'll definitely come back to you. And, you know, or you can go to the link in my bio, copy and paste that into a new search bar, and that will take you directly to my page. So this business has been amazing for me, and the support in this business, you know, while it's your business, you own this business wholly and solely. You are never alone in this business. There's loads of people here to support you. And wherever you are in the world, there is somebody from that country that is there that will be able to support you as well. So, you know, you've worked hard your whole life, and now it's time for your money to start working for you. And, you know, you do have to take the first step. So don't wait like I did for 3 months. Your future will actually thank you. And, you know, thank you for taking action, and thank you for seeing the opportunity for what it is. And I can tell you, it is a very transparent company, and we get trainings, we get information. You don't have, you know, like the best way to learn, of course, is to plug into all of it. But if you don't, that's okay too. That's entirely up to you. So I will be back tomorrow night. I appreciate you all being here, and I would love for you guys to just go to that link up here in my bio and copy and paste it. And, you know, I would love to be able to share some more information where you can ask any questions, and I'm here to help you as much as I can. So have a great night, day, morning, wherever you are in the world, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.